Okay, what I want to do now is actually show you the most important thing that you need to know how to do with Adobe Premiere with your project. We've looked at a few different things. We've learned how to get the video down into the project area, how to get little pieces and clips and things. But one of the things that is most important is for you to be able to see how to add the little transparent box at the bottom and add text to it. And later what I'll also do is show you how to have it where it fades in and fades out so it looks professional. There's right down in here these little brown things right in this area that are actually transitions that will allow it to fade in and out. And then you can have the text there as long as you want the text to be. I could take this one here and move that across and make it where it lasts a whole lot longer. Once you get one of these established, you can essentially copy this box right here and paste it as many times as you want and just change the text, and you would just move it along the line on the timeline wherever you would want it. So let's say for instance we would want to put one right here, then I would just need to go in and select the actual box there, and in certain on the Macintosh I would hold down Option and drag. On the PC, on the Windows machine, you would hold down Control and drag, and that gives you a brand new one. And then you would just need to edit that information that's there, which I would just double click it, and then I would go in there and edit that text information that's there. So just to kind of give you a general idea of what I want to do with you on that. To do that, we'll go ahead and we're just going to put the playhead. This is called the playhead that I'm moving right now. We're just going to put it somewhere. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to assume that we don't have this open. Your setup looks something like this. Here's your clips here that you had originally, and this is where you preview the clips right up here where I'm moving the cursor now. I'll move it where it's large. And then of course here's your timeline down in here. So I've got the playhead here and showing exactly, hypothetically, somewhere we would want to put that that transparent box and some text on top of it. To do that, we're going to go up and we want to go to up here to the title in the menu bar. So we're going to choose New Title, and we just want to choose just a default still. That'll work fine. If we choose default still, and it's going to say, what do you want to call this thing? And we're just going to call it text box. Just something simple. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to choose OK. And it gives you an area, kind of a workable area, to make sure you'll see these lines here, to make sure that you keep your text inside of these areas here. The first piece that I want to do is for us to go in, and we're going to add the little white box. Let's call it that, the little rectangle. So we're going to go over here to the rectangle tool, and I'm going to click on the rectangle, and that's going to, just like as if we were in PowerPoint or anything else, it's going to allow me to click and to drag across, and I'm going to be sure to put it all the way at the bottom of the actual video. Now this video is a high definition video piece that I'm working with, this clip, so it's wide and doesn't fill up the whole area at the top. But I'm just going to go right in here and get it to where it covers up that amount that's at the bottom. Now that it's in there, you'll see that it's really white and you don't see through anything. We need to change what we call the opacity. We need to make this white box where some of the background, where the video will show through. If we look right up here under transform, if it's not open, you need to be sure to open it, but if you just go right up here, it will show up here. And what I can do now is click and drag to the left. All I'm doing is clicking on that blue number, and I'm going to pull this thing over until it gets down anywhere within the lower 40s, so around a 44%, and that's going to work just perfectly fine. So that's going to change that opacity to where we can now see it perfectly fine. So if I click over here to deselect, you'll see now that we have this. And if I look at it close, it looks like everything's fine. We can now see through it, but then you'll be able to have text sitting on top of it to add the text, and it will show up better than if you didn't have that white box there. So in the next step, I'm going to show you how to add the text. But let's stop here just to make sure that everything is going right and give you a minute to test this out yourself.